This NFL starting quarterback odds edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog launched their new ladders game where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Plus, when you use the code SGPN, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a $25 matching deposit bonus.
Hey everybody, Joe Theismann here. You're listening to SGPN. So do this, let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Hello, Sean.
What's happening?
Just gonna talk about some starting quarterback jobs,
and we have some news as well in the association. The National Football League joining us in studio, the Laddie Daddy, the original inventor of the ladders, or at least he's the one we recognize for inventing ladders. You know him, you love him, from the Bottom Line Bombs podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. CJ Sullivan, aka the man in the box. What's happening, CJ?
What's up, fellas? And yes,
I did laugh out loud when they sent over the new promo, and they call it ladders, and I just was like, I laughed. I laughed out loud. Sometimes people say they laugh out loud. I legitimately laughed out loud, going, "Oh man, they're gonna fire up old CJ."
I'm a company man. Although I have to do that ad read on every show. It does sting a bit, they're a big exclusive ladder. But I mean, good for Underdog. I hold my tongue every time, it's not mine. It doesn't belong to me, but I just like a little recognition is all for getting it out there in the world, the marketing of ladders.
I wish we had someone willing to do the deep dive. I was talking about this on the show. I don't know how much ladder chatter there was before the ladder.
No, there was ladder emojis, people sending in photos of ladders, to the point where my brain is programmed when I see ladders in the open. I think of CJ. People sending in photos. I got guys sending me photos of scaffolding from training at work. So
I get them all the time. Ex-wives are texting me ladder pictures. People just associate me with the ladders. They see one and they want to help me out, give me a copy. But you know what? Good for Underdog. Good for everyone else. The ladders are out there for everyone to use and climb, as long as you win with it.
And
I would be pissed too. clear violation of your rights.
They could have reached out directly to the laddie.
I was gonna say. I feel like who's the other girl who the Walking Bets took it from?
Lucy.
Yeah, yes. Lucy. Like Lucy didn't invent walking, but that became her thing.
What?
The Walking
CJ.
Bets. And
you didn't invent ladders, but you made it your own.
Exactly.
I think Lucy needs to hop on the Bottom Line Bombs podcast.
Oh,
I would love to get Lucy on to talk stolen intellectual property and content like that.
Sounds like you guys have a case.
I would have her go back to walking because she switched it over to do her thing. I'm like, no, don't budget on that. But
especially a lot of turns have been made in that saga. I'd imagine if Lucy went back to walking, she could have it back.
Yeah, there's a lot cooking in the influencer world. We are going to be breaking down some starting quarterback odds, but we have breaking news.
Oh, thank God. We need to talk about this.
Statement from Ravens executive vice president and general manager Eric DeCosta, quote, "Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances. Considering our current roster, we have made the tough decision to release Justin Tucker."
Oh.
Of course, I joked. This is just added to the list of non-consensual releases for Justin Tucker. Justin created many significant and unforgettable moments in Ravens history. His reliability, focus, drive, resilience, and extraordinary talent made him one of the league's best kickers for over a decade. We are regretful, or sorry, we are grateful, not regretful, for Justin's many contributions while playing for the Ravens. We sincerely wish him and his family the best in the next chapter of their lives. Wow, this just so much to unpack here.
Well, not to derail this conversation, but it does seem like it was CJ was sharing with me that Joy Taylor had a doctor on the podcast, and they were just discussing her sexual habits to normalize the problem.
Right.
I think Justin Tucker needs to start a podcast where he has a medical doctor on the first episode talking about his massage problem.
Poor Joy has to have sex every day.
You have to know when to.
And yes, well, and Whitlock said it best. She knows what she's doing with that peanut butter skin and that, that. What did he call it? Just a fantastic rack.
Yeah, I mean,
and putting out a podcast where you say you obviously kind of put it out there a little bit, which hey, I get it. Hey, you're hot. You want to put it out there. God bless you.
Yep.
And then. What better way to horn up potential listeners than by saying, I have to have sex every day.
Yeah.
And there are just a bunch of horny guys.
Could be you next.
FS1.
Could be you next. As long as you guys subscribe though.
We're gonna start tracking.
One of my patrons will be a lucky winner.
I do think that
Joy, I'm here to give you your medicine.
Whip It Out Wednesday might be back. I think I figured out the pattern to her
to Opie and
her
Anthony
exposure. On the show. Anyway, back to Mr. Tucker.
Yeah.
Well, so first of all, my first thought was like this statement is disingenuous, and no one puts a statement out for a kicker. Not because of the clear lies, but they made the roster. Like the reason that they're getting rid of him, aka they have another kicker now. Roster decisions. Also, they're saving $4.2 million. That happened on draft night when you drafted another kicker, and a guy with two alleged sexual allegations.
That has nothing to do with this. We made that clear.
There was no mention of those allegations.
Football only decision because we want people to know that's not how the Ravens operate. We don't have morals. We drafted Mike Green for crying out loud. You think we care about what he does off the field? No,
So
this is because he can't kick.
It really,
But Sean, this has to feel good as someone who has
I've been busting Justin Tucker.
You were on the tip of the spear. I don't remember there being a ton of hate.
Whoa!
No,
Careful with your language,
Jesus.
right?
Get a little loose with the language.
Tip of the spear. I should be getting that extra for that.
You were sitting.
Well, actually, that's his preferred massage.
You were literally.
Can I get the tip of the spear worked?
You were riding. You were riding the tip
spear.
of the spear in the hate of Justin Tucker.
He was just such an obnoxiously cocky kicker, and it was fun to enjoy his demise.
Pause. Imagine the arrogance we saw him in a stadium acting like a gladiator. What do you think happened in the massage room?
Yeah. No,
Imagine him standing there just with his arms out like he just made a 60-yarder, his dick hanging between his legs. That's what happened.
Well, especially for the Ravens.
I can see the Lifetime movie already.
The Ravens who are known for like this brutal physicality, just destroying people. And then this guy this Justin Tuckery guy with his weird, his facial. He's got the vibe of a magician, which also there's a strong crossover between magicians and predators. I don't know what it is, CJ.
It's a molesty art form.
Yeah,
it's a lot of like tricking heads and like
and probably I think a bunch of guys who got rejected by girls, so they're like, I'll stay in my room and develop magic, and they're kind of like incel-y, and then now they get some attention.
It's a lot of luring, what I mean? Like it's kind of like the curtain,
just literally tricking women.
Yeah, the curtain of a magic show could also be like the door of a van opening up. It's like the same thing.
What's inside?
Yeah, fun-sized Kit Kats dangling down like at children or something. I don't know. But you don't like Tucker singing opera beforehand and hearing all about this. Did it all go bad ever since he tried to mess with Mahomes and Kelsey during the warm up that AFC Championship?
That could have been the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
in hindsight, though, can I tell you something that stands out? And maybe I'm wrong. I did some very short AI research here. He was never the captain. Which is
most teams usually have a special teams captain.
Right.
Most teams, if you are a long tenured kicker, I feel like I'm almost certain you're a captain.
I bet he didn't want to be bothered by it.
I think in a lot of cases, the kicker, a tenured kicker,
don't want to be distracted.
Is an elder voice in the locker room in a lot of cases.
What?
You don't think kickers are captains often?
Maybe like a special teams
and
thing,
I think
but they're not.
I think a lot of championship teams, I bet if we went back and researched, have a kicker that wasn't a dude that was just off to the side.
Yeah, I don't know. I kickers, punters generally kind of off to the side. They might give them a special teams captain thing, but
they have team captains. They don't isolate it. It's team captains.
Interesting.
But I think they usually they'll give like a 1 to a special teams guy, maybe.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's odd that he was never the captain.
Okay.
Like in hindsight, we should have seen something was going on here. I feel like a lot of teams, if we were to look it up, they have at least one captain from.
Yeah, no, I'm
teams.
saying they usually, if you're
long snapper and kicker.
Yeah, usually if you're on, they'll put the kicker in there. He's been on special teams for a while. No, the whole thing about Justin Tucker is weird too. And
I'm just trying to figure out why he was kept around all those years.
What do you mean?
If this was a problem the whole time,
he was kept around because he was making field goals and he was a good kicker.
He's a Hall of Fame kicker.
Case closed.
Well, so chicken or egg, was the pressure of this coming out what made him a bad kicker that last year?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It didn't come out. When did it come out?
There was probably a delay between when he knew it was coming and when it actually came.
Well, usually he's the first to know about when it's going to come out. Wouldn't you say? I mean, Justin Tucker, a lot of guys give people a heads up of when, hey, it's going to come out.
I wonder. I wonder if that's why he became a bad kicker. But yeah, it couldn't have happened to a better person.
There is a mental aspect to it, so I'm sure it didn't help. But I think there has to be some relation to the Ravens knowing, because as soon as it came out, there were all these tweets from like years ago saying, don't ask me why Justin Tucker is banned from every massage parlor in town. There were random fans that had known about this. There were clearly people in the Baltimore area that were aware of it, which makes me think these organizations that hire guys like Dom to do extensive background checks and, make these problems disappear. In the same way that the Houston Texans tried to pay off these masseuses and all that stuff and try and kind of sweep it under the rug, would not be surprised if we find out that the Ravens knew about it before they actually knew about it, or at least they heard about it and then didn't investigate it. I think is probably the best case scenario.
Maybe that was the pressure he had during his Hall of Fame 10-year of domination, that like, if I miss one kick, these Ravens are going to let it out.
I like that angle. Hey, they blackball Justin Tucker. You make every fucking kick, or we are going to let the entire nation know what a perv you are.
Almost certainly the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens have been they've been above the curve for dealing with off-field stuff.
That's a great way to phrase it.
Above the curve.
So I would say they almost certainly have a team.
They have a lot of experience.
They have
Ray Rice.
They have multiple.
Ray Lewis.
That's what I mean. This is not the team that makes moral decisions.
Yeah.
That's how they wanted. That's why they had to make it clear. This is football only.
I kind of believe them that it's football only. Hey, they have a long history of, if you're a piece of shit but you do your job well, we will keep you around. Right. And
so how long? When was the first internal conversation? It had like Tucker, like, hey, this is getting hot.
I don't know. It's interesting because I think as soon as he started sucking this year, they made the decision of like, all right, we're going to draft a kicker. We're going to move on. But yeah, I don't know.
Because I would put it like this: an NFL team is going to know if you have been banned from an establishment in their city.
Oh, 100%.
So
I mean, these guys, they hang out in the community. You don't think some guy at a bar runs into Harbaugh? Like, they're going to
I didn't know there were so many massage parlors, just like in these city populations. Well, 17 he was banned from.
Also, yeah, that is a lot. Well, I think there's
Watson's like in the 40s. I mean, like, how many parlors of these things exist?
Maybe it's like the casinos where they have like a database where it's, like a guy comes in, he's a card counter. Once you get entered into that database, there's no coming back.
Tucker wearing a disguise in the massage parlor is amazing, but singing opera as he comes in.
He's wearing a little opera glass and a monocle and a cape. I need my back's a little stiff before the big game against the Chiefs. I mean, my opera song. All right. We got a lot to get to. A big announcement here on the show. Look at this, Ryan. Cue up the awesome graphic, because This is pretty awesome. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. They're giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for the entire 12-person league. You can hold the draft at the Cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit. Limo transportation to and from the airport. I've been in that limo. It's awesome. Welcome party at Legacy Club for the entire league. Also awesome. Definitely check out Legacy Club. And reservation at the world's largest sports book with $500 beverage credit for the league. And a 2-hour open bar package for the league at the Overhang Bar. Contest starts today. Cinco de Mayo ends June 30th. So you got to get your entries in before June 30th. Head to sportsgameonthepodcast.com/circa, sportsgameonthepodcast.com/CIRCA.
I like a 12-team league. If you're 14-team league, 2 of you guys can zoom in. All right.
Well, they could. At least they're not cheaping out with the 10-person league. And back in my fantasy football purist days, I would say 12-team league. Ryan, you would agree that's the ideal league size.
12?
Yeah.
It gets weird if you
10 is like stupid.
Enough.
Your team's too good.
14 gets wild.
And 10, you have too many lineup decisions too. And that's the worst thing you want in fantasy football is to regret who you started and who you got to bench.
It's too easy.
And also too, I'm doing the math here. If you're in a 12-person league, tell all 11 of your buddies to enter this contest. Obviously, you're multiplying your chances of winning by 12 there. sportsgamingpodcast.com/Circa. Get in today. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got some, we're going to be out there at Circa. We'll announce that later on. Of course, we're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And just in case you think I'm messing around, I got my Edge Boost.
Nice.
Ryan, give me a solo shot. The Edge Boost.
Yeah, I got.
Should be careful. I don't actually show my Edge Boost card, but if you think I'm messing around, I'm not. This thing's awesome. Already got down on some crazy Kentucky Derby stuff with my Edge Boost rewards. Didn't hit anything, but hey, it doesn't matter. It was free because of the Edge Boost rewards. And of course, last but not least, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply with the rollover bonus. We got some NBA playoff action. CJ, what are the C-generates on tonight in the association?
Well, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder is the team I'm riding all playoffs here to turn my $20 into $20 million. So why not? I like them tonight against the Nugs. The Nugs coming off the quick turnaround after the 7-game series on Saturday. It's a bad spot for them, and the Thunder just crushed teams at home.
And I shout out to Carl.
Play the wheel
over on Killer Sports. They had this trend. Teams coming off a 4-game sweep facing teams coming off a 7-game series. I think it's like 12-3 ATS with like averaging 16-point margin. So I'm with you. Thunder roll. And of course, mybookie.ag promo code SGPN. Kramer, what do we got? Let's talk starting QB odds.
I was doing a deep dive on. You asked how many massage parlors are there in Baltimore?
Oh, great!
Yeah, I did. Good work.
Good work.
Yeah. No. Here's what's crazy is Houston actually number 3 in the country, which
it's crime of opportunity.
Quite correlated to population. But here's the wild thing: Baltimore, according to this, has somewhere between 40 and 80 massage parlors.
Okay.
So he was dipping into a large percentage of the inventory.
That's pretty crazy to be banned from like 50% or whatever it is
per capita. How many more parlors?
I mean, he actually was more of a serial offender than Deshaun Watson per capita.
Okay.
Because Deshaun Watson, according to the numbers, had almost 500 to choose from. So he was barely hitting 10%. Justin Tucker.
A lot of stress in Houston.
Justin Tucker, you throw 3 rocks in the air, he's hitting 2.
I love how that was part of his new deal. Massages only from team approved masseuses.
Yes.
This is Greg.
Yeah,
He'll be your team improvement assist.
Nothing off Instagram. Nothing like Craigslist or whatever.
You got. Well, this is the funniest thing. I was having AI deep dive it, and it's like I've expanded my search to include sites like Rub Maps. So it was getting all the
Wait, Rub Maps?
Rub Maps.
Oh,
like
you don't know.
Like
Rub
we learned
Maps,
about Coach Tube the other day.
Oh yeah,
Rub Maps.
Rub
appear.
Maps.
I'm gonna guess it's like Weed Maps, but for rubbing.
It's like the back pages of
Justin Rubber.
So I've heard.
Will final Tucker thought. Will Justin Tucker ever kick in the league again? Kramer?
The finishing thought on Justin
Yes.
Tucker? No, of course not. He's a kicker.
Will CJ? Will Tucker?
Yeah, he can't kick
again.
anymore. That's
No.
what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens put up with a lot last year.
Yeah.
Having to go through that. I mean, he missed so many field goals.
He will not kick in this league, but United Football League could use some kickers.
CFL, UFL.
I think it's time for him to just turn the whole page of kicking and go get into opera sing, whatever it is, whatever the next chapter of Justin Tucker's life is. Find that out.
And he really screwed up because everyone, Harrison Buckner was the bad guy kicker, and now Tucker just swooped in and.
Yeah, at least Bucker goes home to a wife in the kitchen. You know, he doesn't go out there gallivanting like it's prehistoric as his ideas might be.
There's two type of kickers in the league,
right?
At least he's not
chauvinist, and then there's reckless sexual assaulter
hitting 50%.
Sorry, ladies, you can only choose one.
All right, week 1 starters in the and Sean, I've caught you now twice calling the National Football League the association. One more time, and there will have to be some sort of penalty.
Okay.
We can't call it the association. I understand.
It's a fun playoff of the NBA.
No, I think it's just a filler that you use for your other show, and it's getting into the NFL talk.
Well,
I'm not going to stand for it.
I thought it was them trying obviously dominating and overtaking the NBA.
Yeah.
Because with their Christmas game announcement and saying they just
putting
don't
NBA
care.
in a corner.
Yeah, they just don't care. They'll
even though we're league, we're going to start calling ourselves the association.
We're going to take that John Tesh song from.
We're taking our word back.
I am
oblong ball rock.
Yes. All right. Starting week 1 starters, we have a couple teams with markets open. I figured we should start with the Browns, obviously.
Yes.
They're probably the most interesting conversation. Odds have moved around a little bit, Sean. I was a little shocked to see what I pulled out here, and I believe these are pulled from DK.
Saying pull a lot, Ryan.
Yep.
Just so you know.
Yeah, well, we're about to talk about Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Stay tuned. From the bottom to the top, Deshaun Watson.
We also like that, apparently.
Deshaun Watson, who's being paid the most money, 20-1.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel, 10-1, who was drafted ahead of Shador Sanders, who's plus 450. Joe Flacco plus 130, and Kenny Pickett, who I honestly did not even consider him as an option, plus 120.
Well, so I was talking to CJ about this in the office, and apparently, according to the Browns, Kenny Pickett, they're kind of saying is the starter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was hanging around at 2-1 earlier on when I first saw this market. I love it at 2-1. I still think the play is Flacco at plus 130, just because he knows this is Stefanski offense. I think Flacco is just a safe guy to start you out. He's not going to last the entire season, but yeah, I still like it at plus 130. It just feels like they're going to, well, yeah. And Kenny Pickett has to learn a new system. I just don't, it doesn't make sense for me, from my end, that he would start out as the favorite.
Yeah, Flacco's not a week 1 guy though, especially
that is true.
Especially the fall.
Yeah,
I mean the season starts early September. He's still on the family vacations. He's still bringing
back to school for all his kids.
Yeah, bringing the kids to college. That whole thing. Flacco dad knows you're not getting him. You're not even going to see him in the room until mid-September. Yeah, they said Kenny Pickett. I don't know why they would try to pull a fast one on us. What Deshaun Watson tore an Achilles, right?
Yeah.
How's it even available? How's this number even available?
It's kind of criminal that they offer this,
right?
Because there's no way Deshaun Watson is starting. Now,
They've also said they like the owner has said they've moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't even want him in a room getting treatment.
By the way, Deshaun's cap number this year is 35 million. If they were to cut him, it would be 167 million in dead cap.
Oh my God.
Hilarious. This quarterback room. This quarterback room has to be the Netflix show, though.
Yeah.
Just make the show. You got
Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Don't even. It shouldn't be up for debate.
Just the quarterback room. You got Kenny Pickett, giving advice to Shador and Gabriel, Flacco rolling his eyes, Watson getting treatment on a massage table in the corner there.
It's like a sitcom.
Yeah.
This is like the original real world.
This is surreal life right
Yeah.
here. This is
Who
what this
has a
is.
bigger cap number, Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, they also used some draft capital for Kenny Pickett. I would say Pickett probably does, right? Or am
They
I crazy?
traded a fifth for Pickett, right? And then they used that fifth on Shador Sanders.
Yeah. Pickett is 2.6 million in fully guaranteed, so that's the number.
Joe Flacco's got to be higher than that. He's
Joe
a Super Bowl
Flacco
winner.
is 2.8
Yeah, okay.
against the cap. The guaranteed money is less. It's 1.2.
All right. I think it's Flacco. Now there was a Kramer. What did you
Must
say?
be related to his previous contract, honestly. Anyway,
What was didn't you say my bookie had a bet Shador Sanders to make one start for the Browns this year was like plus 230?
it was something like that. I'll see if I can pull up.
I love that. Not week one,
Right.
but at least one start because this is the Browns. They never have any QB luck.
Yeah.
Just out of injury or whatever, and the fact that the owner likes him. I would much rather play that whatever 2-1 that Shador gets a start at some point in this season than him actually be the day one starter. I think the Browns will have Flacco as their day one starter. I get CJ's concern, but then you're getting Kenny Pickett at almost the same price. That's not appealing to me.
Quick to dismiss Kenny Pickett. Did we not forget the Dallas game last year, Sean?
He was dealing.
He won the game for us when we needed to win it. When we wrap up the division and all that. They say he looks better. I mean, he's still young, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a first round pick like 3 years ago.
He went into
Second
the
round pick, wherever
league
he
in
was.
Pittsburgh, which isn't exactly the best
Right.
spot to show up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he got banged up in Philly. I mean, I don't know. I can see them giving him a week one. They want to see. He has more potential than Flacco to lead multiple games. So if they put in Flacco week one, I mean, it's hilarious for the fans. Get the band back together, but like you can't count on him to be going to full season. So Pickett, if he does show something, has the potential to be their season long quarterback.
All right, so they're funny enough. My bookie, if you like Joe Flacco, their price of plus 175.
Ooh,
There you
okay.
go. That's what you
Well,
want.
then
is much better.
Okay, I'm changing it to plus
And what's Pickett on there?
Pickett's the same price.
Okay.
The area where the other players are a little bit more depressed, Shador and Dylan Gabriel.
Kramer, what are you doing?
Well, and just to update you, the no on Shador Sanders to play at least one game,
Start one game.
as the starting
okay.
quarterback. I don't know why they put it that way, but yeah, basically they has to start at least one game.
So it doesn't go in and relief.
As the starting quarterback. Yes, plus 240, no, minus 350.
That's crazy. I mean, I really think that's a crazy price.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm in.
It'll be league mandated. Who knows? I mean, but
Yeah.
Shador's going to start a game. That's of course he is.
I don't know. I'm not as confident as you guys. I'm not as confident of the owner influence, seeming that it was until the fifth round when and after another quarterback that ownership stepped in and said, let's draft this guy.
Yeah, but Dylan Gabriel on the team, they can't believe that he's still there. Just chalk it up. They should have cut him right after they drafted Shador so he could re-enter the draft pool.
I hear what you're saying, but Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco are both starting over, are playing over this.
Yeah, but what are the odds Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco finish?
That's what I'm saying. That's all it takes for Shador.
What
to start
are the odds
game.
that Shador shows enough in the limited snaps he's going to get out there? I wouldn't bet the no at minus 350, but I'm definitely not playing the yes.
So
I'll
take
Flacco plus 175 with you. I mean, I think there's a realistic chance that when they start playing actual games, Pickett's maybe not going to look as good as he looked in that Dallas game.
Yeah, but he'll show in practice, and that's how you get to become the week one. That's how you become the week one starter.
I like Flacco.
Flacco does not show in practice.
But Flacco gives you so much more flexibility to then go to Pickett. I don't think.
Then you let the young guys win the job from the old guy.
I don't think. Yeah, there is something about not going to Pickett right away, because if you go to Pickett right away and he looks like shit, you might have burned him. All right,
CJ, are you playing Pickett or what are you doing?
At 120, I mean, not confidently, but yeah, I'll play Pickett just because
you're confident.
I'm confident enough in it. Coach,
right.
Coach agrees. Coach said it. I mean, did you see the clip that came out of Dion? They're like, who's Cleveland got a quarterback? They're like, Joe Flacco. Dion's like, Flacco? He's as old as me. I'm as old as Flacco. Like yelling on draft day. Then the Browns did draft him. Like, oh, all right.
Here's the other thing. As far as I can tell, so Shador Sanders, which by the way, we were 100% right. He had his entire rookie contract in that box. His contract is 1 year, $840K. I think there's a better chance that he is on a different roster than starting for the Browns.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Him pulling up in his Phantom Rolls Royce though to Cleveland facility.
It's just not going to play well. It's just not going. It's just not going to play well.
It's hilarious.
I did like how Justin Jefferson chimed in and said he thought he should have been a first or second rounder. All right, let's head over. Let's stay in the AFC.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Colts, which will include a man. I got his face on my shirt right now. Daniel Jones.
Oh yeah, remember Daniel Jones, Ryan?
Plus 210. Anthony Richardson minus 280. Riley Leonard 40-1. But not only do we have week 1 starting odds, we also have most passing yards on the season odds. Anthony Richardson minus 175. Daniel Jones plus 150. Riley Leonard 40-1.
Ah, see, this is more exciting a little bit. Spices it up.
Well, for one, like totally understand why the odds would be closer together because Anthony Richardson has not shown great passing acumen, whereas Daniel Jones maybe hasn't either, but he's certainly done a better job than AR-15. That being said, is it even worth taking the week 1 starting?
No, not with most passing yards.
It feels like the like Daniel Jones is going to be playing. Do you think Anthony Richardson got better? Well, because he talked about it. He had the moment where he didn't realize he wasn't supposed to take himself out of the game. By the way, I was looking at YouTube for keywords, and #1 Anthony Richardson keyword is Anthony Richardson tap out. Next one is Anthony Richardson tired.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to talk myself into a Riley Leonard play here because
no.
Well, Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson have either of them really finished full seasons? I'm saying.
For passing yards at 40-1.
Yeah.
I don't see how you don't play Riley Leonard.
Wow.
I think you have to.
I mean, what's in front of him? Anthony Richardson, I don't want to wish injury on anyone, though, but he's often injury prone, and they don't believe in him anyway. Daniel Jones is, and I know he's on your chest right now.
Yeah, he's Daniel Jones. He's like an ongoing spinal injury.
All right. Yeah, he's not healthy. Right?
Well, I agree. Both those guys could get hurt.
Well, they got I have a clip here of them asking when they signed him.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Well,
I mean, Anthony Richardson played 4 games his first year, played 11 the second year, and then Daniel Jones. When was the last? Yeah, they got to the playoffs that 1 year, but other than that, he didn't really play full years.
And if all else fails, they're going to say, "Well, let's see Riley Leonard. We know what the other idiot is. We know Daniel Jones, what he brings to the table." The fans are going to want a Riley Leonard.
They are the team that did go and get Daniel Jones, though.
Right.
Yeah,
but Daniel Jones has played 6 years in the NFL. In only one of those did he play all 16 games.
Yeah, 12, 14, 11, 16, 6 and 10. But 10 last year was due to sucking and then getting cut.
Yeah, but could also happen here. I mean, if they're not doing well, I'm definitely putting a small sprinkle on Riley Leonard at 40-1 for most passing yards.
Yeah, put me down for that as well. That jumped down on me.
And I think Daniel Jones. Why not take plus money on both these guys? Anthony Richardson, when he does play, he doesn't rack up a ton of passing yards.
So it's interesting because Daniel Jones is the opposite of Anthony Richardson. He refuses to make the big throw. Anthony Richardson only makes the big throw.
You know what? Actually, just give me Riley Leonard because I don't even know if Daniel Jones is worth playing.
Yeah, forget Daniel Jones. That plus 150. There's a lot more fun ways.
Yeah, burn through my future bankroll than Daniel Jones. Just give me Riley Leonard 40-1. I don't. Riley Leonard starting 7 games or something like that, 6 games. And maybe it's in some garbage time.
And I don't think Riley Leonard's the worst either. He had NFL potential.
Let's play this game. Who has a bigger cap hit for the Colts this year? Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones?
I'll say Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is going to count for 14.5 million against the cap.
Wow.
Half of that signing.
Half of that is guaranteed. Meanwhile, Anthony Richardson 9.2 against the cap with only 3.8 guaranteed.
I mean,
are we sure that the Colts are more committed to Anthony Richardson?
Well, again,
give me Daniel Jones plus 210 to be the starter.
I'm kind of with you, Ryan.
And I'll do both because I don't want him to come in after like 1 week and then easy walk away with the yardage.
Okay,
they're more committed to the guy.
You put Daniel Jones week 1 starter.
I'm doing both because they're more. I think you make a quarterback minus 280 when you think they're more committed to him.
Well,
but I don't know if they're more committed to him.
And our buddy Crack Rock on Twitter, he claims that inside the building that the Colts see Daniel Jones as QB1, which is insane to me. Now,
because he won't do he'll not do anything. He'll be conservative. He'll run the offense.
Well, but also too, like they may be messaging that inside the locker room to get Anthony Richardson to get his shit together to beat out Daniel Jones. Like they could be playing some head games. I do ultimately think they wanted to work out with Anthony Richardson. They drafted him so high. They wasted all that draft capital, but I think whatever the Anthony Richardson leash is incredibly short.
One guy is if there's one thing you can say about Daniel Jones is consummate professional. We heard that way too much as the media was fucking gallivanting after his release as if he had been tortured in a Guantanamo Bay fucking prison
But
cell.
I'm not laying minus 280 because laying minus 280 for Anthony Richardson to do the right thing. I'll take Daniel Jones at plus 210.
And to your guys' point, I mean, this probably is a motivator. Is there anything more motivating than when your team brings in Daniel Jones? You're like,
but also
we think this guy could take your job.
He's literally the like they went out and they signed a dude that is, yes, he can still run. So he can still run the function of your offense, but he's considered a pro. He shows up to the building early. He's all the things Anthony Richardson isn't off the field. And then he's not going to only chuck it 80 yards down the field where you're just having these crazy plays or nothing. Like some of the worst throws you'll ever see in your life. Now he'll get those too, but he'll be more concerned. I do think this might be the best of the bets we'll be making today. Of the starting bets today, this one might be make the most sense to me. All right,
at 210, CJ, are you officially on the Daniel Jones train?
No,
just a pass.
So Riley Leonard, you guys are taking Riley.
I don't think Daniel.
Oh, Jones. Riley Leonard at 40 to 1.
Riley Leonard on 40 to 1 passing yards. Daniel.
That's the best bet on the board.
For your sake, I do. It'd be fun because once one of them gets hurt, then you're that close. And what do you need? Because neither Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, like. Either one of them, they're averaging about 200 yards a game.
You lose your fan base if you have your week 1 starter be Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson is still healthy on your roster. This is
Indiana people.
I know it's Indiana people
out there,
but as far as the team wise go, like, come on, like if Anthony Richardson can't beat out Daniel Jones, which is I can't believe that'll be even an open competition. I mean, they have to want Anthony Richardson to be their quarterback.
If you're only looking forward, they have more invested in Daniel Jones than Anthony Richardson. All right. Next up, we got the Giants. Week 1.
Now we're talking.
Starter odds are very, very much a landslide. Russ minus 800, Jameis 6 to 1, Jackson Dart 16 to 1, and Tommy DeVito 100 to 1. Great quarterback room. Such a better quarterback room than the Cleveland room. They also have most passing yards for the Giants. This is a little bit like considering how tilted this is towards Russ to be the week 1 starter, only minus 150.
Well, he doesn't get the passing
to have the most passing yards.
That's interesting.
Well, I do think that part of why they brought in Russ was for his deep ball. So I think there will be deep shots for both guys. Jameis plus 250, Jackson Dart. This one was a little surprising to me. 4 to 1, Tommy DeVito 100 to 1 again. I don't think Tommy DeVito has a chance. I think there's a really good chance that Tommy DeVito's not on the team.
What if Brian Dable gets an offer he can't refuse, Ryan?
unless he accepts to be, maybe there's a no-show job for Tommy.
Yeah, hey, my cousin.
And a lot of things could happen to those other quarterbacks on their way to the stadium.
Be real shame
Wow.
if something happened to Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart.
Well,
remember when Herbert got stuck in the elevator? That'd be a real shame. Real shame. Some people are saying, right?
Well, Jameis is Italian, so they're not going to come after him.
He is Italian.
The video of him doing the fingers around jersey.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
he's like Stax in Goodfellas, Samuel Jackson's character. Like, we like having him around, you know?
Well, how'd that go at the end?
Well, that's how they all go when Tommy DeVito's in behind you. That's what we're saying.
So the messaging is Russ. Everything about the starting job day one is Russ, just like it was last year.
Yeah.
And what happened last year, Sean?
He dealt with a calf injury. I remember dying laughing because I was listening to this other podcast and the guy was locking up one of my favorite future bets, Russell Wilson, day one starter. It's -400. Just lay as much as you can get down on it. And then he's an old guy. He's an old guy who has had some issues. He was the Steelers wanted him to be the starter. He wasn't healthy. So I think I'm definitely playing Winston right now at 6-1 to be the day one starter. I think Russell Wilson with his health stuff at -800 is crazy. And maybe a tiny little taste of Jackson Dart in case they both get hurt. But the Winston at 6-1, I think is a very good play. CJ, what do you like?
And first of all, Ryan, did I hear you say the Giants brought in Wilson specifically for his moon balls? That's what that was, like a attractive thing for him.
I think they desperately. If you look at the types of quarterbacks they brought in, all of them are willing to make the throw down the field, and that was essentially what Daniel Jones was not willing to do. And so, for Russ, those sideline deep shots,
moon balls, call them moon
balls. Sure, that I think that was certainly appealing to the coaching staff.
The starting market doesn't appeal to. I do what you make sense there with Winston, but Winston just seems like a 2, no matter what. Even if he is the first healthiest starter, you can't. Starting him is pretty wild.
I said this on VSiN, and I'll back you up, CJ, because I truly believe that he was brought in to be the game day backup for whoever the starter was, because that's what he is, right? He's the fun backup. We saw what too many starts and things get weird, but he's a great game day backup. So to Sean's point, I think fading Russ is probably the right move, but why not do it with the rookie?
Why not do it with the rookie? Or Tommy DeVito
ain't getting the job, unless, to your point, everyone, like a bunch of people get shot in the back.
So you think a little Jackson Dart, CJ? I mean, they drafted him in the first round. The case for Dart is there. If he has some shine in preseason, the New York media is going to be drumming him up and. Why are we waiting for? Let the rookie.
He will look good in preseason. Yeah. Like if nothing else, these odds will go down because you don't do stuff to confuse quarterbacks in preseason. May was
really close to being a starter, and I don't think playing Jacoby Brissett for 5 games helped Drake May. I just don't think it did.
No, and I don't think the Giants want to. I think there's some belief that he's coming out of a Lane Kiffin offense. There's concern that he won't be ready for what's needed at the NFL level. But what if he is? To what CJ was saying earlier, if he is ready and he is able to win the job, or at least look good enough to be the guy, they're not going to go with Jameis. Jameis will be the backup. Period. I don't know what happens with Russ in that situation.
Russ would have to be heard.
I mean, Jameis is just
he'll just be hanging out at MSG. But he loves being famous.
Like if I was putting confidence on this, Russ is the starter most of the time. But you have to put injury.
Yeah.
And so let's just say he has the job. He would have to lose the job or get hurt. I don't think he's going to lose the job, but if he gets hurt and Jackson Dart looks good enough, 16-1 is crazy.
But I do say, obviously the reason why they got Wilson and Winston is so they don't have to start a rookie quarterback.
Yes.
And Dable on the hot seat.
They got him before the draft too. Right. They weren't sure what was going to happen in the draft.
Yeah, but Dable on the hot seat. They want to raise the floor of this team. They just don't want to, win 3 games or whatever it is. They want to get to at least 7 wins, and that's what you do with these mediocre moves. So I don't know if they would throw Dart into the fire like that. Now this passing yard market.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. because now he can really roll the dice when it comes to this. Winston obviously jumps out here. He only has to play 5 games to lead the team in passing yards, for crying out loud.
We've seen him come in. Look what he did in Cleveland.
Right. So that I want to take plus 250 for Jameis Winston, most passing yards. Russell Wilson's the chalk at minus 150. Dart at 4-1 is a bit ambitious, it seems. And then poor Tommy DeVito at 100-1.
Well,
it was a nice Italian kid.
Dart, yeah. I mean,
Winston did throw for 497 yards in one
That's
game.
what I mean. 3 games could be Russell Wilson's 10-game span.
Yeah. Maybe we're also like the last we saw. Like what? I'm gonna pull it up, but the last we saw of Russ, he was playing for Arthur Smith as well. So I mean,
yeah. And before that, it was Sean Payton.
And how many yards do you think he threw for that year?
The Sean Payton year?
Yeah, it's gonna be more than we remember.
Like low 3,000s.
I'm betting on the better arm in Jameis Winston than with Russell Wilson. I mean, someone like Trustmore.
He averaged 234 and then 204 yards with Sean Payton before, but that was with Sean Payton trying to sabotage him.
So yeah, 200 yards a game. Winston can do that, and I mean he can double up Wilson in one game. So I'll take Winston plus 250. Dart's interesting in this market, but not at this price, 4-1. I think they'll suck for the majority of the year, and then December rolls around, and Dable and Shane are like, well, we got to give them something. We got to try and save our jobs. And then they'll roll out Jackson Dart. He'll win like 2 games, and then the media will be like, all right, they're just a couple years away. We got to give them another shot. Can't be 2. And it'll just be another rebuilding year for the Giants.
Yeah, I'm not playing anything in this market.
No passing yards, nothing.
No, I mean, because the answer is Russ. I don't want to lay minus 150.
Kramer, what about the starter? What, you're taking Winston and Dart?
No, just Dart.
Just CJ, you just like the Winston passing yards?
Yeah, I don't like these starter markets at all.
Of course, hey, head over to underdogfantasy.com. They got the new ladders, laddering it up here with the Laddie Daddy.
Maybe we need to make a custom graphic with the Laddie Daddy on it.
Jake, please, when you're listening to this, let's come up with an underdog ladder graphic with CJ's head on the underdog logo with that cape. That'll look pretty fun. Underdog, and we've been doing the best ball drafts, right? We just did one.
I love that
last night. They're super fun. They're only $25. You got a chance $2 million to first, $1 million to second. And if you got $1,000 in bonus cash, Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN, you can have 40 entries, 40 shots to win $2 million playing best ball. And it's fantasy football. You don't have to manage, which is very fun. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. The Rhythm is going to bet you. Get your 7-day free trial today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yeah, you got the MLB, you got the NBA, and you got great deals on the place for building AI models, AI picks and props. You got two ways to play. You can either build your own model, and building is it's a loose term because you're just adjusting sliders. Honestly, it takes 5 minutes. I build a bunch of models, see which ones they back test it, see which ones are profitable, and then roll with those guys. Or if you're too lazy to do that, just go to what Rhythm likes and steal their picks and props because they know what's happening. Jimmy Butler under 11.5 rebounds and assists. You can get that at +102. Rhythm likes that a lot for game 1. Teams coming off of game 7 have done pretty poorly. So I think that's going to be a tough spot for the Warriors against the T-Wolves. And I'll trust Rhythm's data for Jimmy Butler under 11.5 rebounds and assists. Use that promo code SGPN 25% off the monthly plan, or SGPN 50 for 50% off the annual. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Play the breaking news sound effect. My bookie has a lineup for the Hall of Fame game.
Oh my God! Right, stop our show.
Should we do another pod? We'll break the.
What 2 teams are?
Well,
playing?
here's the crazy thing: July 31st is the Hall of. When's the last time the Hall of Fame game was in July?
It's happened. Yeah, it's like every 5 years. That's when you know.
Lions are playing the Chargers. Lions are laying a half.
Oh, this is awesome. Two football guys. They said I heard the opening ceremony is Harbaugh versus who's
Campbell.
Yeah. Oklahoma drill, middle of the field.
God damn, Campbell will kill
football.
32 and a half is the total.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, 100%.
What is it? 42 and a half?
32 and a half.
30. Yeah. So they've gotten smart.
They know. All right. Last one. We don't, not a lot to talk about here, but they did give us a Saints week 1 starting market.
Oh,
Tyler Shuck. And I think this one might only be, what were we calling them? Down with our friends down near the equator. Sean was cracking me up. Just kept referring to the offshores as,
our friends near the equator.
Yeah. I like that. Could be
I got friends
in the desert.
I got friends in the desert. I got friends near the equator.
Well, shout out to Dave Mason, the king of coming up with all the props. Tyler Shuck -150 versus Spencer Rattler +110. This is crazy.
Yeah,
there's no way Spencer Rattler is the week 1 starter. Am I crazy to say that?
No, that was my argument for rookie of the year for Tyler Shuck. There's no, I mean, there's no veteran they want to put in front of him. Like they know what Spencer Rattler is, and another one that you'll lose your crowd, your fan base. They want to see Tyler Shuck. He sees NFL ready. Hell, he's 35 years old. He better be NFL ready. He's probably older than Rattler, right?
I would also say this is, and I know this is the market. I'm with you, CJ. Tyler Shuck, even at -150, lock that up. That's a strong play. Spencer Rattler, I don't think seeing the field unless we got injury, and the price isn't intriguing enough. I think Saints could still be a kind of like a wild cardy type destination, maybe a late June 1st trade. Someone comes in, let's say, something happens in Cleveland. One of these guys gets cut. The Eagles, maybe I could see a late quarterback thing happening where someone else besides, I mean, it's kind of crazy to take a rookie quarterback to be the starting quarterback at -150, or maybe Derek Carr is a miraculous recovery.
Well, what's your take on that? Because he's in the media saying it's all lies. By the way, Tyler Shuck 2018, a 4-star in the 2018 class. Spencer Rattler a 5-star in the 2019 class.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck's older.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
He was with Trevor Lawrence.
He was in the Trevor Lawrence class. He backed up Herbert at Oregon for 2 years. So what's Carr is not playing a down for this is like the Deshaun Watson situation.
To me, the shoulder. It's not that he had a shoulder injury that popped up. It was the news once it was kind of happening that Saints are going to be drafted a quarterback. He announced the shoulder injury, which to me is not unrelated. It seems like it's somewhat related.
That's interesting though. But then he did that testimony, if you will, at church where he was making Diana Rossini references at the congregation.
Very weird.
Why do you do that if you're Derek Carr? Because clearly the Saints are on the path of making some sort of medical release, or right, like there's something going on here where he's going to be they're going to leverage this shoulder,
right?
Or because otherwise he wouldn't say shit about it.
Yeah, but he's part of that.
No, but I think he didn't. I think he realized he was made to be a pussy, and that they were basically saying he invented the shoulder injury. Yeah. And he's like, no, this is a legit shoulder injury. You don't know what you're talking about. The truth is probably somewhat nuanced. Is his shoulder 100%? No. Is he using this, or maybe his agent's using this?
And you ask why. You have to remember Derek Carr is part of that crazy Christian department there.
No.
He's not part of the Kirk Cousins family Christian guy. He's part of that, the crazy one that that'll be preaching in the middle of the street like Mark Jackson or something like that. And so he's a wild card. He's a loose cannon when it comes to testifying and things of that nature, where he'll talk about a shoulder injury in a church for 40 minutes.
What I want to know, Sean, is what David Carr has to say about this. Because I remember David Carr when he was getting his beak wet writing over there at NFL Network, made Derek Carr the number 4 quarterback in the NFL. Remarkable.
When he's got a healthy pocket, when he's got a clean pocket. I don't got any time to say that. You give him time. You give him a clean pocket.
And someone in the chat, Jeff Sharp, hold on. He's trying to make a case. I was laughing at Jeff's comments here. Daniel Jones with a line that can pass block may show us something. Ran for his life with no weapons for 5 years.
This is a Colts fan.
And Patrick Fisher goes, "Are you trying to start a riot?"
What? And but I love this fantasy clean pocket. What team is a quarterback sitting with a pure pocket for 10 seconds. You give Kevin Hogan a clean pocket in the UFL. He can deliver. He can deliver a bomb.
He delivered a bomb to the Brahmas receiver.
Yeah, Kirkland dropped it. Right, sat in an empty chair. I did like the one comment. Then he found an empty seat, which there are plenty of at the UFL game.
He hopped into the front row, and there was no one in the camera shot.
Yeah, the opposite of the Lambeau leap, where they're always catching you or throwing you back in.
Yeah, Diana. Just and to your point on the Diana Rossini bit, the quote from her on her podcast or on the Athletic podcast was the situation was quote fishy. I will say this about Diana Rossini. Ian Rappaport has shown to be a complete fraud.
Yeah.
We've not caught Diana Rossini.
She's not a shill
with any sort of false reporting so far.
Good Italian.
It's girl. A little bit like she's a little bit closer to like who's the short bald guy on the Fox pregame?
Jay Glazer.
Yeah, Jay Glazer. A little bit like Jay Glazer, where when he speaks, he tends to be right. And so, Derek Carr is officially on the pussy list, the non-football injury pussy list.
She's a good Italian girl. She's not going to make up something about
I think, and what she was reporting was, hey, I asked around about this injury, and the response I got was X, Y, and Z. She didn't even infer it, say anything. She just goes, I asked around, and people go, Diana, you know how this works.
She implied.
She implied it.
She definitely implied.
Yeah, a little bit. You took it.
But also,
very well done.
But she's also she claims to ask these people. That's what they said.
Go bury her in a car.
I am saying he is making it up.
You offended him. You offended him a little bit now.
So does he
go home and get your phone?
It's all right. Drinks are on the house.
Does Derek Carr play another snap in the NFL?
Yes, that he does.
Yeah, he's gonna find.
Good enough?
Yeah, he's very good enough.
Next year, the Giants need a bridge quarterback.
Oh wow!
I mean, he is the perfect Giants quarterback.
Is he?
Well, JJ McCarthy, maybe when his knee rebuckles, they could trade.
So what are they going to do about this contract situation?
Indianapolis Colts eventually realized they're an idiot.
Yeah, he does have an absurd contract, right?
I don't think his contract's very easy to get out of this year. Pre June 1st cut, it would cost $80 million in dead cap and 60. They wouldn't.
I can see him being a 49er when I want to pay Purdy.
Post June 1st, hold on, he's getting 100% getting cut this year. Post June 1st, it's $20 million in dead cap.
Yeah, I think they might just cut him.
Yeah, he's getting cut.
$20 million on that deal.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah,
100%.
But that's what kind of makes me think their quarterback room is not set, and there could be a wild card quarterback.
So 20 mil next year, 19, 13, 7 in dead money over the next 5 years because of the void year stuff. But I think they do that in a heartbeat.
Ryan Tannehill coming out of retirement.
That's crazy. Like, stop saying Ryan Tannehill's name.
No,
but everyone's bringing up Tannehill. We don't even know what Tannehill's up to. He could be eating mushrooms with who is the quarterback? Jake Plummer.
Yeah. Friend of the program. Yeah. Jake Plummer. We got to get him back on. I'm just telling you, Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, and Jake Haener. I think there's room for another quarterback.
Really? Which one? Kirk Cousins? No, that won't happen.
I'm just telling you. These teams figure out how to get these guys.
I think they got the old guy because they know he's going to start.
I think it's more interesting of where Derek Carr could land, and if he could play this year, if this arm injury is fake, that'd be a great way to get cut, get out of there, and say,
who likes him though? Who likes him? You need someone who's gonna.
I can see him being a Jet or a Steel or something like that.
Oh,
a Jet would be fun.
That's interesting.
That would be fun.
I wonder if he has any. He does. It doesn't seem like he has the best reputation. That's all. I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't be.
He's not a locker room guy.
He got sent home by the Raiders.
Yeah, and you saw this stuff on the sideline, him yelling at guys. Yeah, and it doesn't. And if you're Kellen Moore, you don't want to start your new coaching era with Derek Carr. No. You want to build your guy, build him up, have your thumbprint on it. You don't want to deal with someone's sloppy seconds. Like, come on, Derek Carr. No one wants Derek Carr.
That is a disgusting act.
He's 34.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, he's gonna have to accept being a backup or wait. You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe he waits until week 12 and some team gets desperate.
Yeah, or he
gets
he does get a shoulder surgery, a little tune up. Maybe sits this year out. Maybe tries to come back as a vet next year. Like, I still think he'll have a couple starts in the league, but his his days of being like the uncontested starter certainly are past him. Hey, good times as always. Make sure you toss us a like, smash that subscribe button. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. Enter the contest for free. It takes 2 seconds. I think all you got to do is put like your name and your email. You got a chance to win that awesome fantasy football prize. And obviously, if you don't win, you can still host your draft there. And I said to Circa, if that we would, if a listener, a league is interested, SGPN League, you guys are fans of the show. Kramer and I open to MC in one of the drafts.
The first round of one of the drafts.
First round, yeah.
Or the whole? You mean you sure you got the first couple of rounds?
Yeah, first we'll hang out. We'll figure it out. We'll hang out, take some shots. MC Kramer
38 round. 38 round defensive player.
Yes.
Yeah. No IDP leagues. Depends how deep your roster.
Yeah,
is.
maybe a round or two.
And how hot it is. Honestly, I'll be drinking, and I don't want to get.
We'll hang out until Jalen Hurts gets drafted.
Yeah, and then the draft's downhill from there. SourceGamblingPodcast.com/circuit. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be out there for contest weekend, and I'm probably doing some more VSiN shows, and of course, subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast with our buddy CJ Sullivan
in the 38th round.
We'll have to check out some image and likenesses, by the way, before we do this underdog ladder.
Yes,
by the way.
yeah, we will.
We're gonna cut.
We'll have to talk to CJ's agent, getting him working out that the underdog licensing deal. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, Steck of the Money Green. He's Ryan.
38 rounds would be a long time, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.